Pitch black. Not dim, not twilight. The complete absence of light. Somewhere in northern Venezuela, 300 feet underground inside a limestone cavern, a sound begins. Click, 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 click. Thousands of them, overlapping, stuttering, bouncing off wet stone walls. Then the screaming starts. A high, wailing cry that rises out of the dark like a child being hurt. Then another. Then hundreds. The locals name this cave Cueva del Guacharo, the cave of the one who wails. No one is being hurt. These are just birds coming home. Tonight's subject is the only nocturnal fruit-eating flying bird on Earth. It navigates pitch-black caves with echolocation. It screams like a grieving human. And its chicks were once boiled down into lamp oil that lit the streets of Caracas. This is the oilbird, Steatornis carapensis. The name means fat bird from Carape, and that is not a metaphor. An adult oilbird is about the size of a crow. A wingspan just short of a meter. Plumage a rich reddish-brown dusted with white spots, like the pattern of sunlight through leaves, in a forest where this bird has never actually been in daylight. Then the eyes. Enormous, black, glossy, packed with the highest density of rod cells ever measured in a vertebrate eye. The oilbird sees in conditions that would leave a human completely blind, which is useful, because the oilbird's daytime life takes place inside a cave. Hundreds of them, sometimes thousands, roosting on narrow ledges in absolute darkness, packed shoulder to shoulder, shrieking at each other all day. Early explorers assumed the caves were haunted. And then, at dusk, they leave. The oilbird is the only bird on Earth that earns its living this way. No hunting, no chasing insects. It flies up to 75 miles in a single night out into the surrounding rainforest and picks fruit. Palm fruit, laurel fruit, avocado, oily, calorie-dense, fat-heavy fruit, plucked in flight, the way a hummingbird takes nectar. Then back to the cave, in total darkness. Through rainforest thicker than anything you have ever walked through, finding the right ledge among thousands. The oilbird echolocates, not like a bat. Bats click at frequencies too high for humans to hear. The oilbird clicks at about 2 kilohertz. You can hear it. It sounds like a child clacking their tongue, except faster, louder, and coming from hundreds of birds at once, bouncing off every wall of a cave. When scientists figured this out, in 1953, it was a genuine surprise. Echolocation was supposed to be a mammal thing. Bats, dolphins, a few shrews. Not birds. The oilbird did not get that memo. But here's the part that really lands. That name. Oilbird. Steatornis. The fat bird. Oilbird chicks, during the 3 to 4 months they spend on the nest, are fed almost entirely on regurgitated fruit. They do not fly, they do not exercise. They just sit on a limestone ledge in the dark and eat palm oil. By the time they are ready to fledge, they can weigh up to 50% more than an adult. The excess is pure fat. For hundreds of years, indigenous communities across Venezuela, Trinidad, and Colombia knew this. Every summer, at the peak of chick fattening, people entered the caves with torches and long poles, pulled down the chicks, and boiled them. One oilbird chick could yield more than half a liter of clear, odorless oil. The oil did not go rancid. It burned clean. It stored for months. It cooked food. It lit lamps. It greased machinery. A single cave colony could produce thousands of liters in a single harvest. That is how the bird got the only name most people will ever know for it. The species is listed as least concern today. Populations are stable inside protected caves, but disturbing a cave during breeding causes wholesale abandonment. They only breed in a handful of specific caverns. The entire species runs on very specific tropical fruit, a very specific kind of cave, and a very specific kind of darkness. Step back and consider what the oilbird actually does. It lives in caves. It navigates by sonar. It does not fly during the day. It eats only fruit, which is not a diet associated with any other nocturnal bird anywhere, because fruit is a daytime resource everywhere else in the world. And it does this at scale. An entire species built around one of the weirdest possible jobs on the planet. The oilbird is also one of nature's great seed dispersers. Every night, thousands of them fly up to 75 miles round trip, gorge on fruit, and return to caves where they regurgitate and defecate the undigested seeds onto the floor. Over centuries, a single cave can accumulate meters of guano and seed. Pale forests of tree sprouts grow on the cave floor, reaching for sunlight that will never come. They die as seedlings. But every fruit-bearing tree in the surrounding rainforest, thousands of square kilometers of it, has at some point depended on oilbirds scattering its seeds into the soil at night. The forest is partly held together by a bird that sees in the dark and screams in a cave all day. Imagine it. You have spent your whole life inside a cave you cannot see. You have never felt the sun. You will never feel the sun. When you leave, it is always at night, always to fly 75 miles through pitch-dark forest, always back before dawn. You find the right ledge, in the right cave, among thousands of identical ledges, by clicking. And you have been told, your whole life by every person who has ever documented you, that your name is Oilbird, because people once boiled your children to light their lamps. And somehow, the colony is still there, in the cave in Caripe, wailing in the dark, cracking palm nuts, planting forests they will never see. This has been Dumb Stupid Birds. Tonight's subject, the Oilbird. Follow for a new one every day. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen. See you tomorrow.